Hi my friends, Jovi here from jovibronia.com. Hello, if you know me, I'm practitioner in Chinese medicine, and today I would like to share something with you, some information about enemy number one when it comes to cancer. So, to do so, this is a short overview just to understand a little bit the fundamental of nutrition. And there are three fundamental nutritional changes which determine the diet of humans. We start at the very beginning. The first fundamental change is older than our species and occurred 3 to 4 million years ago with the primates. They used to hunt for their food. The second change happened 10,000 years ago when Homo sapiens began to settle, and from then on he did farming and livestock. Initially, grain enriched their diet, later milk and honey. Sweet things could be produced, but really selectively. It was a rare thing, a rare product. Nevertheless, the carbohydrates content in the diet, especially in the form of sugar and starch, remained relatively low and not constant until the mid of 19th century due to unstable seasons or crop failures due to the weather conditions. This did not change until the third nutritional change, that is what we have now, the end of universal self-sufficiency and the beginning of the industrial mass production of high sugar and high starch foods. There was now plenty what for so long time was really a rarity. What you need to know is that our metabolism has not changed. It has remained the same as the one of Homo sapiens. It needs extremely long time to adapt to changes. So you have to know that our digestive system is still the one of Homo sapiens. So that's the difficulty of our body to deal with all those sugar and starch. And that is the point when today's disease come in. We eat too much sugar. Sugar is added everywhere. It is a flavor enhancers, preservatives, attractants, addictive substance, in food as well as in beverage. It is everywhere. And remember, sugar means also all kind of carbohydrates. That's sugar too, that's glucose. Okay, and I want you to understand how sugar and cancer cells work together. Just a short overview, because otherwise it would be too deep, and I want you to understand. What is cancer? Cancer is a mutated body cell. Normally our cell is programmed so that if it is sick or it gets sick or weak, it will commit self-suicide. It would suicide itself because it knows that it is useless now because it's not working properly anymore. And this suicide thing is programmed in our DNA, and it is called apoptosis. Cancer starts from a damage of the respiration of the cells itself. A normal cell needs oxygen to burn, and out of that it produces energy. It's like an energy building factory called mitochondria. In each cell we have mitochondria, and that produces energy out of oxygen. The cell burns oxygen and produces energy. When there is a lack of oxygen because the cell is damaged, the cell switches over to fermentation mode in order to survive, and I'm going to explain you that. In this fermentation mode, the cell is able to produce energy through sugar. In this fermentation mode, cancer cell build lactic acids which flood the surrounding tissues and destroy the tissue surrounding the cell. What lactic acid also does is that it puts like a protective layer around the cancer cell, and this way our immune system doesn't recognize it. You know, normally our immune system sends their killer cells out, and they recognize damaged cells and destroy them. It's not the case here. Furthermore, this ongoing fermentation inhibits apoptosis. You remember the self-suicide command built in our DNA that is not working anymore here in cancer cells, so they do not suicide, they continue to live, and that's why cancer cells become literally immortal. They flood our lymphatic system, and this way they can get everywhere in our body. The thing with our processed food is that it's full of sugar. Everywhere is sugar. We are feeding cancer cells all the time with our wrong nutrition. Think about that. We are feeding them and we help them to survive and to even grow and get stronger just by using too much sugar, too much glucose, like carbohydrates. That's why you want to avoid sugar whenever and wherever you can. Avoiding sugar, you starve cancer cell, because sugar, as I told you before, is their nutrition and fuel to grow. Many people don't know that, and are totally blown away when they hear the first time about that. Because remember, no doctor will ever tell you this, because in their study they do not integrate nutrition, and that is really sad. I mean, a disease starts always or most of the time through our wrong nutrition. Most of the doctors just do not see the correlation between nutrition and cancer, and that's no good, because doctors focus on the disease, reacting on the symptoms, hoping to how do I say that, to lower the pain and maybe to prolong life, but they're not doing anything to better the life quality, you know. And that is something so important to better the quality of life of cancer patients. So they do not work proactively to prevent or avoid cancer at all. So that is why you come into place by educating yourself, by knowing about that sugar thing going on in your body, and just to react on that and to minimize sugar at the lowest point. So just to give you an example, a good friend of mine, her husband has cancer, has melanoma, that's the skin cancer, and that's going on for a lot, for many years now. At the beginning they gave him 3 to 4 months of life, and that was quite a shock for my friend. You can imagine. Could be that you have experienced that too. And I told her about this sugar-free nutrition, and she was just blown away because she had never heard, in all those years, she had never heard about that from her doctor. And as she was thinking back, she told me, wow, that's crazy. She told me, do you know that my husband, when he still was healthy and he wasn't sick yet, he hated the taste of sweet. He never was after sweet cakes and chocolate and all of those things. He didn't like it. That's all. And since he was sick, and since he has this disease, but the skin cancer, he is eating sweet stuff like crazy, like chocolate, cakes and cookies, and what comes through his way, he eats all of that, and he's always on the search for sweet things. And as she was thinking about that, she said, wow, that is crazy. I mean, that is the sign that the cancer cells request that sugar, and you are starving for sugar, you are looking for sugar, you want to eat sugar, you want to, yes, and that is because the cancer cell needs sugar to survive, to grow, to get bigger, to get stronger, to stay there in your body. And that is crazy, huh? Remember that that example, because this was for me, that was for me so clear as she told me that, and I think now it's clear for her as well. And yes, I hope this was of value for you, because it is really on my heart to avoid as much pain as it is possible by educating yourself and by teaching you, because I really care for you, and I really care for all my friends and for my family, and even for my pets, because the poor thing are experiencing the same thing as we are. They have the same disease as we have. Can you imagine? They have diabetes, they have heart problem, they have a junction problem, I don't know if it's called reuma in English, I don't know, but you know, all those bone problems. They have cancer as we have as well, and that is very sad, because you know, you love your pet, and as I discovered lately, we want the best for them, but we are feeding them stuff that makes them sick as well, because in their food as well, a whole lot of sugar. I mean, an animal would never, if he could choose, he would never eat sugar. Huh? Okay, think about that, and I hope you had some value out of this. And if you think this could be of value for some of your friends, feel free to share that. And I hope to see you soon in my next video. And thanks for watching. Bye bye. Stay well. Stay safe. Bye.